Welcome to USA Global TV and Radio, where our mission is to provide education, entertainment, hope, and inspiration. USA Global TV and Radio connects you with experts and audiences all around the world every single day to help you succeed in business and to live a richer life. Visit us at usaglobaltv.com to learn about career and life-changing training and mentoring programs like the Listening Mentor. Subscribe to our newsletter to stay informed about our special programs and offers. Discover how you can become a guest on one of our shows or a host or producer of a USA Global TV and Radio show of your very own. That's USA Global TV and Radio, where the doctor is always in.
Hello and welcome to Global Adventures on USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck, and our show today is an amazing journey in Thailand to help cope with grief. Let's get the show started. As you know, if you are a follower of our programming, this is JenettaBarry's favorite program, and she's brought a wonderful friend and guest. Let's welcome Jenetta first and hear why she loves the show so much. Jenetta, hello.
Hello, Dr. Jacalyn, and all our viewers and our listeners and all our extra viewers and possibly listeners from LinkedIn, because from about an hour ago, I've been able to stream this straight through to my LinkedIn account. So to all my friends and acquaintances over there, welcome also to USA Global TV and Radio. It's an honor and pleasure to have you here with us. And today, as Dr. Jacalyn said, the reason why I love this show so much is that we feature people who've been on an adventure that has been very, very different. We've had people in Ethiopia going to the Coptic churches up cliff sides. We've had people taking us through to Antarctica, through to the Khoisan, ancient Khoisan tribe in southern Africa. We've had so many amazing adventures, and by the time we finished, it feels like we've actually been there with the person, and that's why I love this program. And today we have a special guest. To give you a little bit of backstory on our guest today, I've known Linda Yacha now, probably about 20 years. And she used to come to my meditation sessions that I used to hold every Wednesday evening in my home. And she arrived one day and was part of it. And then she did quite a lot of my spiritual workshops in the days I was doing meditation and spiritual work. So we go back a long, long way. And her story today is a continuation of that friendship that she and I have had. And she's going to share, it's tinged with sadness, but filled with hope. So I'm going to, first of all, suggest that we bring Lynn up and introduce her to everybody, and then I'll show you where she's been. So welcome, Linda Yacha.
Hi, Lynn. Nice to have you.
Hi, Dr. Jacalyn. Hi, Jenetta. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
It's a pleasure.
So, Lynn, do you want to tell a little bit of, if you just give what got you to Thailand? Don't give the full story, but what got you to Thailand to begin with? Why did you go there, first of all?
I'm a teacher in South Africa, and I was living in a game reserve, actually, where I was teaching. And I just felt, I need some new experiences and new adventures in my life. So I've decided I want to go and teach overseas. And I applied for positions in different countries, but nothing happened. And then one day I thought to myself, I have to contact people overseas that can help me to get a position in a school. I never had Thailand in my mind. I got a name from a lady that is a headmistress in Thailand at a pre-primary school, kindergarten, and she's from South Africa. So I wrote her an email and I said to her, I'm looking for a position. And within 5 minutes, without seeing my CV, without see her talk to me, she said, well, it's your lucky day. I've got a position for you. And that's how I got to Thailand.
It's amazing.
amazing.
Amazing. You think that things like
Okay.
that never happen, but they do.
Yeah, it
Like
does.
that. Yeah, so true. So, Dr. Jacalyn, I'd love you to bring up the presentation so that we can show people a little bit more about it all. So, here we have the map of the world, like we always start with this program. And we've done a lot of presentations around here and down in South Africa. But today actually is going to include South Africa and right over the Indian Ocean Sea over to Thailand. So it's going to include 2 places today. And here's Thailand close up. One thing that I learned, I never realized that Thailand had its bulk of its land and then went down quite so far into that spit. You see, I get educated every time I do this program as well. And there's Bangkok. That's where you'll find Bangkok. Everybody has heard of Bangkok, and that's where it is. And I thought I'd include a little bit about this because for me, Thailand I've always associated, having come from the theatre and so on. And of course, The King and I was based on a true story in what was Siam and is now Thailand. And from what I can believe and what I've read up, The King and I is not encouraged in Thailand anymore. In fact, it's almost as good as banned in Thailand. I'm just going to show you a piece about it. It's a true story about an English mistress that went to teach the king's children, and he had many. And the two different types of lifestyles and so on clashed to begin with, and that whole story. And here's a little bit of that. It just gives you an idea. This is what I remember as a child, all these amazing Thai children in the film. And here's Anna she was called Anna of Siam, teaching the king to dance a polka, in actual fact, because it's not what they dance. It's not their type of dance. So this was the background to me of what was once called Siam, and the people of whoopsie, let's just go back. And the people of go back. Oh, we've missed it. For some reason, it's not going back. So when Lynn told me and sent me all these bits and pieces, this is, of course, what took me back to my childhood. And this is Lynn with her children at the school. Okay. So, Lynn, do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I would like to. There's different celebrations that I have in Thailand. And this one is called the Loi Katrong. It's a water festival. And they do it at the end of the year, where they just like kind of wash all the badness, not badness, but things that happened in your life the previous year. Use the water to clean you and to cleanse you. And they have a new year that will be full of blessings. So what these children do, they cleanse our hands, and that's why they pour water on our hands to clean us from the previous year of things that happen in your life that's not nice experiences. And I actually want to say something there as well. You saw that I touched her on her cheeks. You're not allowed to touch a person or a child on his head, because that's the cleanest part of the body. And if you touch the top of his head, that is not.
Pardon me.
Yeah, so then after that, we had swimming pools full of water, and everyone was swimming and throwing each other with water. And I was sitting with my clothes in the little swimming pools with the children, and we just had such fun and throwing water at each other. That was really an amazing experience.
Wow. So, Lynn, I wanted to show this piece.
There, it is also at the school. As I say, there's a lot of celebrations going on in Thailand. And this one, when it's the king's birthday, they have like different Thailand shows, dances that then we also celebrate it at school, say for 2 hours. We have a presentation, and the children of the different ages do different kind of Thai dancing and celebrate the king's birthday.
Okay, so that's wonderful. So, and the present king, he's just as much revered as all the past kings, or how what's it like in Thailand now?
No, it's going well. But you know what? You're not allowed to talk about the king in Thailand. People are not allowed to talk about him and say anything about him. So yeah, you can get into jail talking about the king. So people are not talking about the king, and actually, that's not something. And everyone's accepting, and it's going well.
Okay.
Are you allowed to speak of the king when you're not in Thailand? Are you allowed to speak of the king when you're not in Thailand?
I'm not sure. I think so, but I'm a bit worried about that. I don't actually want to.
All right, we'll go to the next subject.
Okay, so I'm going to go to the next slide, if it'll allow me to. Here we go.
This is Captain Bell, the Frigate on Rain Airport. Please put your seatbelts on.
Adorable.
Oh, that is so lovely. I had different cultures in my classroom. I had 4-year-old children, and they're from all over the world. Most of those children actually are from China. I was teaching at the international school. So most of them are used to flying, and being on the airport and things like that. So we just like present what they must do, from buying a ticket, having a passport, and getting a entry, their seat number. So that's what we did that day. The whole story about how to get to the airport and on the airplane. So that boy was the little captain, and he announced that they must fasten their seatbelts and do that.
Okay,
Jenetta, I love how you always put the maps in the presentations. That's so helpful.
It does help, because we always have, even for me, I have an idea of where somewhere is. But when I really start doing this research, I get a very good idea. And I mean, I didn't know that it all went down the spit like that. It is helpful. So thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. Okay, so Lynn, that was your start in Thailand, and then what happened?
I was for 6 months. I went in July 2017 to Thailand to teach, because their year starts half of in June, July. And I was there for 6 months. And then when it was December holidays, I decided, well, I'm not going back to South Africa, because I'm only there for 6 months. So I actually, a friend and I went, booked a holiday in the Philippines. So on the 16th of December, we flew to the Philippines. And that morning when I landed in the Philippines, we went on a bus tour around the city. And so I didn't have any data or Wi-Fi. And when I got back to the bed and breakfast, I received also all these calls from my family and tried to get hold of me. And then I phoned them back and I got this terrible news that my eldest son passed away in a car accident. So yeah, I was like devastated. It was, I mean, I'm a different country in another, the beginning of my holidays, and I just had to get back to South Africa. But that was a great shock to me.
It was huge. And the interesting thing, Dr. Jacalyn, is that I had also traveled that day from Nairobi down to Victoria Falls, to the airport at Victoria Falls, And when I landed, I got a strong sense of Lynn, and I knew I had to get hold of her. And this was the news that she had to of course share. So we went on a bit of a journey together with that grief and loss and so on. And I thought we'd just give a little bit of background and go back to South Africa now and do a little bit of background on Derek. So just in a nutshell, Lynn, tell us a little bit about Derek. Here's a picture of him.
Yeah, Derek was passionate about wildlife and about nature. And he was such a friendly child, and he always wanted to help people. He always reached out to people, and he was just like passionate about life. And he was like the heart of a party, or anywhere that he went, people just loved him. And he was also always like make a joke, and that was him. And he was a game farm manager on a game farm.
Okay.
Wow. I'm so sorry for your loss, Lynn. And yet you're so brave to come here and share your story and relive it again so that you can help one other person. It's truly commendable. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn.
We got a few pictures of the lifestyle that Derek led in Africa. So stop me, Lynn, if there's anything you want to talk about as we go through these pictures of Derek. I mean, you can see he's a free spirit sitting on top of the viewing vehicle without, I think he's got a glass in his hand even.
Yes.
How old was he in this picture, Lynn?
He was, when he passed away, he was 32. So that was about when he was 30 years. Yeah.
He looks like he's strong, physically fit. Wow. Yes. Look at this.
Yeah. So in that picture, I was in the Land Rover with him. And then he said to me, I went to visit him very often, quite a lot. And he said to me, Mum, he didn't tell me what he's going to do. He said to me, just take pictures what I'm going to do now. And I didn't expect, I didn't know what to expect. And I was sitting in the car and he was calling this buffalo. I can't remember the name of the buffalo. And he was calling this buffalo, and this buffalo come and eat out of his hand. So yeah, I'm even goosebumps when I sit here. And I was just like, I have to take this photo, and my son is there with the buffalo. I was quite.
What is he feeding it? Are they grasses or something?
Yeah, it's the lucerne grasses for in wintertime. They do feed the animals. I mean, there's not much to eat in the veld.
And is that, whatever that is in front of him, is that supposed to keep some distance for safety?
No, not really. No, they put the food in there.
Okay.
Yeah. So when he came back at the Land Rover, I said, "What did you do to me? Why?" And I was just laughing.
That's a big animal.
Even us now.
Yeah. And a very dangerous animal.
Very dangerous animal. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had quite a few friends who've been gored to death by buffalo.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
we
used to call him the buffalo whisperer, because he really had a connection with buffaloes. Yeah.
Was the buffalo making any of those sounds that you you typically hear them making on, with TV or movies, or was it just seemed to be in a friendly state of mind?
In this picture.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's just a friendly state of mind because he knew Derek will go and feed him every day. Every morning they do the round and feed the animals. And so he knew Derek was whistling to him. And then he came out of the bushes. Derek had
Amazing.
a certain whistling for him. And then, Derek was there.
Wow.
Wow.
Well,
Yeah.
great
And this is
picture,
all
Lynn. Nice job.
It is. And this is all because there's very little grass in the wintertime, because some people might not know that there is a winter in South Africa. We don't have a winter up here in East Africa, but it's a jolly cold winter. And especially in the area that Derek was operating from, it goes to little or no grass. And that's why he's feeding them.
Interesting.
Can I say something else about the buffalo?
Yeah.
My youngest son Dion had to do his PhD on he did some research on plants and things, so he had to do his PhD on a topic, and he wasn't sure what to do. And then Derek said to him, he must do a PhD on buffalo breeding, and so my youngest son did that. And he finished his PhD after Derek's death, and he attributes his PhD to Derek.
Wow.
Wow, that's incredible.
Wow.
Amazing.
And this one?
I don't have much background of that, but he was very young. I think I started after his studies. He went to visit a sanctuary where they, about cheetahs and research on cheetahs. And that cheetah was actually quite tame. That's why I could sit like that.
It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. And in fact, I'll share a little info there because I've been privileged to do the same with a cheetah in Botswana with my son, Neil. And it's quite terrifying, actually, because you know how a normal domestic cat can suddenly scratch out at you or whatever. But they're really, and their purring is so loud. It's like you have to put earmuffs on. And they're such cuties, but they do have to not be wild to do that. And there's people around in case something does go awry. So it's not just, you don't just walk up to the cheetah and pat it on the head and say, good boy or girl or whatever.
Thanks, Jeanette. I was wondering about that. Like, hey, come here, cheetah.
But if you really look at that photo of Derek, you can see the softness in his eyes. You can see that and the kindness and the love that he had for, I can just see it in his face.
You can.
Yeah.
So true. And look at this one.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. This one they were darting the rhino because I think he had some kind of a sick. There was something wrong with him. He got hurt. So they do dart the animals and to help them, to see what
to address
was the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. So he was also very young. He only started on the game farm when they did that. They have to work very fast because the darting after the darting they have to and they also pour water over the animals so they can stay cool and they have to work quickly, but because they can't be under seduction for quite a while. Janetta will know about that too.
Yeah, there is a time limit and they have to keep them cool. Otherwise they start stressing out in the heat and then it's not very healthy for the animal.
How much does that animal weigh approximately?
Whoa, that's a very good question. Heavy.
More than we weigh together, the three of us?
Oh, definitely. Without a doubt, like a ton truck. Especially a dead weight like that would be very, very heavy. Yeah, amazing.
Yeah.
And look at that. That's just such a lovely photo.
Beautiful.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful? Now these dogs were his love of his life as well. You can
Oh,
just see the
wow.
love in it.
Absolutely.
So, Lynn, what happened then? You came back to South Africa. Excuse my dog. He's decided he wants to compete with the rhino. It doesn't sound like one, but what the heck? So, what happened? You were in the Philippines, and then you had to catch a flight straight back to South Africa. And how long were you there for?
In South Africa. I was just there for. I went back on the 16th, the 17th of December, and I came back. I think a week, 2 weeks after New Year, the 14th. I was in South Africa for about a month or 3 weeks, and then I had to come back because I had a contract with the school. I just decided I have to go back. I actually didn't want to stay in South Africa because of all the everything, Derek is there, and a reminder of anywhere you go, I can just feel Derek is there. Experiences that I had with Derek was in South Africa. So I was actually I have to go back to Thailand.
Wow. That must have been such a mixture of emotion on your journey back, not even a month after you'd lost him.
Yeah, it was quite. I think I didn't realize in what state I actually was. It's just like for me. I have to survive. I have to survive this. I have to move on in life. I have to carry on. I was just like kind of a robot, I think, at one stage. I just have to do and keep myself busy. That was what I really did. I just tried to keep myself busy all the time.
Wow. Yeah, that's understandable. We have a comment actually from one of Jenetta's viewers on LinkedIn. Welcome, Rebecca, as a Vegas. What a story. JenettaBarry, the communicator. Lynn's story is heartbreaking, but Derek was an amazing young man. I'm so glad she could share him.
Oh, Rebecca, so lovely to have you with us. Rebecca is part of Your Global Village community. She's one of Your Global Village family, and she is a story writer and publisher. So your story has touched her heart. I'd love to introduce the two of you. So, Rebecca, thank you for that.
Thanks, Rebecca.
Yes, thank you. I'm loath to go to the next slide because I think it is a video and it immediately starts playing. So, Lynn, when you got back to Thailand, what did you decide to do since you were there on your healing journey?
The little village that I lived in, Saraburi, is about 100 kilometers from Bangkok. It is not a tourist attraction place. The people couldn't speak English there, only at the school. If you have to go somewhere, there were no transport at the back of a scooter. They would take you. I learned to take pictures of the shops that I want to go. So I just show the taxi, the scooter taxi, that's where I want to go. So then he took me there.
And what did that do for you?
Pardon?
What did that do to you going around? What in your healing journey? What did that do? Let me show some of it so we can get an idea. So here we go. That wasn't very clever. Now, Dr. Jacalyn, if you can chat with Lynn, and I'll get there. Thank you.
Okay, fantastic. So there we go. Lynn, it's an incredible story that you're sharing. And, on this platform, we do a lot of work and conversations with people who have really suffered a major loss like you have. And I think it's important when we look at the stages of grief that some people just go from 1 to 5 and really don't process any of it. They just lock it away. And I'm wondering, you shared that it was about a month before you went back. do you feel that you were going through all of the stages, or did you just say to yourself, I'm going to take this pain that I have and I'm going to deal with it at a later time?
Yes, the later, what you mentioned now, that's actually what I did. I just blocked out Derek, and I blocked out my feelings because it was too painful for me to think about that. So what I wanted to say about that town that I lived in, so I moved to another town in Chiang Mai at the north of Thailand, which is very really more tourist, and a beautiful town with mountains and forests and stuff like that, things like that. So that's what I did when I moved to Chiang Mai. I just like gave myself over in nature. I just like, I want to be in nature. I want to experience the calmness of nature. And that helped me to with my grief that I have to deal with. So when I feel it's too much, I just like went into the forest or go and visit places in nature.
And what a blessing that is. And thanks for sharing that. One thing that I've learned, and we talk about a lot on this platform also, is that you can travel, you can go different places, but you always bring yourself with you.
That's true.
Even though the scenery changes, the situation is still the same. So while we're waiting for Janetta, I'd love for you to share, because I think it's really important. What are some of the things that you did to celebrate your son's life and at the same time help yourself heal?
What I did, like the little things, I think a lot of people do that. I sometimes would like lit a candle at his photos, and just go back. We had a lot of experiences, Derek and I. We did a lot of things together, so I relived that, and yes, and I just like when I went into nature. I would try to see the beauty in nature. I want to see the positive. I want to celebrate Derek's life because he was such a joyful child. And I wanted to rather experience that than the pain that I had in me.
And he seemed to have this incredible connection with animals as well. And so they continue on in his spirit, I would feel.
Absolutely. Yeah. I don't know if I have to talk about that now because Janetta had to have some photos about my trip with the elephants. So I think I would rather we need about that.
Yes, we need to get to the elephants because that is such a spiritual journey for you. So the first thing that Lynn shared with me was videos round that she took taxis to go and help her deal with her grief. And here's the start of them. So, Lynn, this is the one with the lanterns. Do you want to explain it?
Oh, yeah, that's also a festival that I actually just have in Chiang Mai, the Lantern Festival. That's also, that goes with the water festival. They lit up lanterns and then they send it up in the air. And also like you send all your bad experiences and problems and things, you send it up in the air and they believe that will take it away from you and also start a new year celebrating life in a positive way. And there I was just like, I wrote Derek's name on that lantern and his date, and I sent that lantern up. And actually, what I said there is, Derek, there you are. I'm not going to releasing you, but release in a positive way that it's okay.
Lynn, I'm just wondering, were you traveling alone?
Yes, I traveled alone. I had a colleague that was teaching with me. So at certain times she was with me, but most of the time I traveled on my own.
Amazing. So brave and strong.
There's my friend.
What were you feeling at that moment, Lynn, when you released that lantern?
Actually, I was like actually relieved as well. I was just like I was so glad that I can did these things for Derek and for myself. That I have this opportunity, quite different culture. It's just an experience that you can never experience at some other country. And everything that I did was like helping me with my grief. I felt relieved, actually.
Wow, thanks for sharing that.
Okay, I'm going to skip all the others because, as always, there's so much information to share, and this was still the backstory. So here we come to your most spiritual journey. Do you want to give us the overview of that story?
Yes, can I tell the whole story about the elephants and then we'll look at the pictures?
Yes, just not too long, but
Okay.
an overview of what the elephants are about and why you went there.
Okay. A year later, on the 16th of December, when Derek passed away, I said to myself, I have to celebrate his life in a positive way. And he also loved elephants. He had really a passion for elephants as well. And then there's the elephant rescue sanctuaries in Thailand, in Chiang Mai, where they, because they use the animals in circus and they ride on the animals, on the elephants, and that, was not good for the elephants. So I went to visit the elephant sanctuary to be with Derek in elephants and in nature. And while I was feeding, they give you a time where you can feed the animals before you start walking through the forest with the elephants. And I was connecting with each elephant that I walked past when I gave them food. I looked them in the eyes and I tried to connect with them. And on the second round, when I went to give them food, I looked in this elephant and his eyes, and he looked at me as if he connect with me, and he looked like if he's looking into my soul. I was just like, this experience, the spiritual experience I had with that elephant, I can't describe it. It was like he said to me, Derek, I'm here. And it was just like amazing. And the elephant walked with me, and then we went to, at the end of that day, we went to swim with the elephants. And I went to that elephant, and he was like putting his trunk around my body, and he pulled me close to him. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, what an experience.
Yeah, it was an amazing experience. Yeah.
Did you have any fear at that time?
Any fear?
Yes.
Not at all. Not at all. I I hugged him. I took him around his trunk and I hugged that elephant. And we're allowed to wash them. So I washed him and I brushed him, and he was just like, yeah, stay close to me. It was really one amazing experience that I had. Oh yeah, that one. I told, when I made my booking with the elephants, I told the guy my reason why I want to visit the sanctuary. I told him about Derek and that I'm celebrating his life after the first year. And then he organized the monks to come and that day, and they all stood there and they blessed me. They organized that to do that for me.
What an experience.
Yeah, it was a great experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
And with the elephants behind as well, that must have been just amazing.
Yeah, I didn't expect that, because they don't do that often, to invite the monks to be part of their journey and during the day. So I couldn't believe what I saw there, because that was really amazing experience.
We have a comment, and Janetta, I'm so sorry. I know I've taken us totally off track because I'm so engaged in asking questions, but we have a comment, and Lynn, would you like to read it?
Oh, it's from my other son. Love my mum, such an inspiration. Miss my brother as well. Awesome to relive these memories.
So beautiful.
That's my third son.
Oh,
He's here with
wow.
me. He's at home. He's at my house at the moment. That's why.
Well, thanks for being with us, Conrad. Wow, this is the elephant?
Yeah, yes, that is the elephant, yeah.
Now, tell us about the markings on the trunk. Are they significant of anything, or it's just natural?
Yeah, no, that's just natural. You get different kinds of elephants. You get the African elephant, like in Africa, it's quite much bigger. But these are the Thailand elephants, and that's the way they look, and they're much smaller than the African elephants.
That looks like my skin, Janetta. No.
Can I just go back to that photo?
Okay, let's just have a look at this if we can.
Are you in there swimming?
No, not at that one.
Okay.
No, that one they just like, just on our journey.
Really having interesting time with my internet today.
You're doing well.
Go back.
So there we go.
Okay, what I want to say about that, I went to all the different islands or places that I visit, and I would buy like a bracelet, but that big one, with the red and the gray, was Derek's armband that I was wear for a few years, and I just said, I will know one day when I can take that off, and that's Derek is now 5 years. I think I only took it off last year.
Wow.
Yeah,
Incredible.
but I'm still wearing all my bracelets. I love my bracelets.
Look at that.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yes, that is the one. You couldn't see it because his trunk was under the water, but he just like pulled me close to him, and the lady they took photos of that. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Yeah, he was really. He was looking at me that you can't describe it.
Was it a baby elephant or?
No, that's the normal size of the elephant.
Okay.
Not really. It was not a baby. Yeah.
Did you name that elephant?
No, I didn't. He's got a name, but I can't remember. It was just like special to me. They were very playful. The people that are there with them, they call them the mahouts. Each elephant has got someone that take care of them. So they sleep with them, they feed them, they train, talk to them. You can see each one has got his own. They call them a mahout, that's taking care of the elephants. The other interesting thing, when the person that I make the booking, they ask you from which country. We were about quite a few people in the group. They will ask you from which country are you. So when I heard I'm from South Africa, one of the co-founders of that elephant sanctuary was from South Africa. Yeah, so that was also a
amazing connection.
Yes.
Yeah. So Lynn, I'm going to let this play. We're coming to the end of this really special and meaningful presentation, and just such an honor to have you on the program today to share your story and your journey. My very special friend Conrad, thank you for putting your piece in too, because I know it's never an easy journey as a family to lose a child and a brother or a sister, and just how much that this can inspire many, many others. And I know that after a while you decided to go back to South Africa, and you included this little video of this little one of your children in the class, correct?
Yes.
Good night, Teacher Lynn. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow. I love you.
And that was the goodbye.
That's a goodbye. Yeah, I love you, Teacher Lynn. Yeah, she was such a
Sweetheart.
And then
Yes.
here's Lynn in basically waving goodbye before going back to South Africa.
Yeah, that was one of the
Yeah.
islands.
I love the swing. We have another comment, by the way, from Herna van der Linden. Sorry if I said that
Van der
wrong.
Linden.
Yeah.
Adna, yeah.
Herna,
She's
yeah.
Herna.
She's a good friend of mine. Yes.
Thanks for watching, Herna.
Can I say something about her, Adna? It was so amazing. Her daughters also studied game farm management. And I was in Thailand, and I saw this post of her on the farm that Derek worked, when he was working. And the name of the farm is Kalanyoni. And I saw the pictures of her, and I said to her, Hannah, what are you doing on Kalanyoni? Well, she knew about my son, but she didn't know where he was working. So I said, no, my daughter is working there. So her daughter started working there just after Derek passed away. And I told her we planted a tree for the remembrance of Derek on the farm. And then and I said to her, just go to that tree. That's the tree that we planted for Derek. And the next time when they visited on the farm, she bought a red bunch of roses and she put it at the tree and she took a photo and she sent it to me to Thailand. And that was, I was so touched by that.
Wow.
That was so amazing.
So special.
Yeah.
Wow.
Jenetta, we need at least 90 minutes for these shows because I personally always have more questions and slow everything down. So I apologize.
No, that's fine. I think it's a very good indication of how heartfelt these stories are and in-depth and insightful. So I so agree. I think we do need 90 minutes because there's just so much detail to embrace in these shows.
How much more was left on the video?
Just a little bit. So I don't know what's happened. I normally have a better connection than this, but anyway,
That's pretty good.
That's
Lynn, it was an absolute pleasure to have you here today. And again, thank you so much for how brave you are and courageous and sharing your journey because it's really moving. I was going to cry a few times and I had to get myself together. So we hope that you'll come back and share more with us.
Thank you so much, Dr. Jacalyn. I really feel honored. Thank you, Jenetta. It was a privilege for me to be part of your show and to inspire other people and be brave.
And Lynn, we have your contact information. The best way for people to reach you is on Facebook. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, Jenetta. Thank you.
Okay.
That's correct. Yeah.
Fantastic. All right. Thank you again for being here. Jenetta, how can people get in touch with you if they have a story to share also and they want to be on Global Adventures or the art of creating mental health wealth?
Well, you can get hold of me either at Jenetta, JENETTA, at theepiphanyprocess.com. That's my email address. Or you can learn more about worldjennysday.com because where Lynn and I stepped into a space even deeper than our friendship was before is that I lost a daughter to suicide. Lynn knew Jenny, met Jenny. We now have World Jenny's Day on the 10th of October because she died on World Mental Health Day. So if you'd like to know more about that or theepiphanyprocess.com, you can go there and you can contact me at any of those three places if you have a story to share on Global Adventures. Because these are very special and precious journeys where people don't normally go, or if they do normally go, something different happens. You don't beat the normal tourist path. So this isn't a travel show. This is sharing an adventure that has a deep meaning or a spiritual twist to it or whatever. Please reach out to me at Jenetta@theepiphanyprocess.com. I'd love to share, we'd love to share your story at another opportunity.
Thank you so much, Jenetta. And we are closing out. Our next show is coming up. It's the United Kingdom News and Culture. We have 7 shows today. So please go over to our YouTube channel, USA Global TV, and subscribe so that you can be part of this incredible journey with us. If you'd like to be a guest, go to our website, usaglobaltv.com. Book your session. All right, that's all for now. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Lynn. Thanks, Janetta.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.